Okay, back in here with another 34 liter that Carson's got hooked up there. We'll try to talk a little faster. He doesn't seem to want to work quite as well. This would be 34-1, so Jumpman back on a Set the Curve sow that would have just made Ella Boble's reserve red and fourth overall at Louisville here this summer.
Yeah, the 34, I think this one is unique in a few regards, in my opinion. I think a hog that has got a huge chest floor laid in him as he comes right there at the camera. I mean, that thing is rolled up and big caged, and still, for me, as you crawl in behind him, he's got plenty as he goes away from you, but he's still in check. That thing's still got a good hinge from behind. He's still square in his hock and good in his rear foot, but that hog has natural muscle, has natural width, and still has a nice look from the side as Carson props him up there. That thing's got a stout forehead and a big jawline, and still carries everything that he has down low all the way up high. I think one that has natural muscle, and if you like hogs that have muscle and rib cage and you want to start them that way, this one is darn sure for you, because as you can see on the camera there, that thing's got a beautiful square back shape out of the backside of his shoulder, and he still is super smooth right there at the top side of his shoulder into the top side of his hip, and goes back into a powerful hip and a rear leg, and still handles it to the surface extremely well.
Yeah, this one's the one that can take the abuse of a feed bucket. And he's, I've talked to a lot of ag teachers over the years in the Southwest that will tend to buy a hog every once in a while that if somebody doesn't get to the barn to get him fed, will not be, it won't kill him. And this is one of those pigs. I mean, you could live inside that thing's rib cage, and he's tall shouldered and equally as tall at the point of his hip. He's not the sexiest one from his blade forward, I wouldn't say. I mean, he's good there. It fits his body cavity, but he's not as neat necked as his brother that was in here earlier. But man, that thing is round bodied, big, square chested, big feet, big legs, big toes, and plenty of shape and muscle. He's one of those that I think, like I said, is a San Antonio barrow, and maybe even can roll further than that, just because I mean there's quite a bit there, but he handles it very, very well. His length of hip is good. So as we go to the 38 here, we're going to go to the other extreme. So this one here might be a little skinny for some people, but if you know me, this is my kind right here. This is the kind of red hog that I've made a living selling for years, and hung quite a few banners with and over the years, and been successful for our customers. This one, pedigree wise, is out of new boar we have here. We call the Road Ahead, which would be a raise the bar creation. So the Road Ahead's mother would be the gilt my niece Briley showed 2 years ago at San Antonio. That was grand overall gilt that we purchased from the Moyer firm there, that goes back to the sows that we sold them. So this hog here would be a Road Ahead back on Set the Curves, littermate's sister. That sow would have made the right decision at Harkey's, a boar that we sold them there privately. Made the reserve grand at Lubbock, or excuse me, at Hale County 2 winters ago. This sow has had a very, very good run. I'll let Bryce talk to you a little bit about him.
Well, Brett, we see hogs sometimes very, very similar, and sometimes we don't see them as similar, and that's okay to have a difference of opinion, but we agree on this one. This 38-1 is special, and I don't care what anybody says. If I was going to a San Antonio or something like that, this is one that would be on my short list, because if you know anything about the Beyers firm, they have the Beyers look. That's referenced multiple times by multiple people, and this one is the Beyers look from the side. Just height the shoulder, and still just how neat he is and tight he is in terms of his head. But he's not frail skulled. He's got a big fat forehead, and still from the side, that thing proportions and balances so well. He's absolutely built for speed as you put him into motion. That thing's got an awesome front foot and a square knee column as he comes directly at you. He's skinny, guys, and we're not going to sit here and lie to you and say that he's the muscle hog that you're going to be able to sit on and just not go to the barn every day and maybe not feed him every day like we talked about the other one in this pen. But man, this thing is built for speed. And if you, in relation to his build and just his comfort, if you look at his just natural muscle shape, rib shape, and how he ties everything together, this one's going to go home, get on a feed bucket, and absolutely blow up. We ran him in last night and took a picture of him, and Brett said, "Does he look skinny?" And I said, "Brett, I don't really think it matters. This thing, the good is good, and you give credit where credit is due, because this one is no doubt what's the first view you're going to catch coming out of a pen is his head and neck and his chest floor. I think this one's awful special and should be on your short list. He's not the widest. He's not the EST hog in terms of muscle and just chunk today, but this one is going to come back and punch somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, this one's got the highest ceiling. I mean, big angular legs and an angular skeleton, just built to do whatever you want him to do with the feed bucket. And honestly, he's just the kind that just gets better every day of his life. I mean, he's going to get a little stouter and a little thicker and a little more massive all the time. I mean, indicators are all there. Skull, width between the eye socket, tail root. Love this hog's length and levelness of hip, and I love his angles. He's just one of those that would just be fun to feed and go to the barn every day and just watch him blow up. So here we go with it. We're going to finish on this pair here and get on to a pair of 35s next maybe. But neat pair here, just completely different kinds.